Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 471. I am Brendan. UFC Fight Night, Emmett versus Murphy. We're going to talk about that one, break it down round by round. Not the most exciting night of fights. If we're gonna talk about all the fights on the main card here, we're gonna go through them round by round. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way, when the next video is coming out, I'd appreciate it. Real quick before we get into this, there were some finishes on this card. Normally, like what I like to do, I've been, again, forgetting at the beginning of the video. Normally I do it at the end, but I wouldn't recommend going to watch this card. There's nothing on it for me that says you need to go see this. I think you're more than kept up to date just by looking at the outcomes. If you're that interested in following the career trajectory and possible, the way that the divisions are shaken out. So let's get into it. Let's see. Josh Emmett taking on Lerone Murphy. I mean, I thought this was going to be a decent fight. I thought there'd be more action, but Murphy really didn't want to. Like, he didn't want to give anything to Emmett. He wanted to do nothing. So he just played this really smart for him. Right? He found a way to win, and that way was to stay on the outside, stay on his bike, skirt the outside of the cage, and then just try and counter, land with kicks, lots of kicks. I mean, total kicks. I mean, let's see here. It doesn't separate it. Like, actually, all the body shots and leg shots in each one of these rounds were all kicks from Murphy. So let's start talking about the actual fight itself. Like, the first round, Emmett was stalking, keeping Murphy on the outside of the cage, looking to land that big right hand, as he usually does. In tight, Emmett going with those combos, leading with the right hand, and then forcing Murphy to shell up. Close round. Neither guy really landing in this first round clean, but Emmett with more activity up top and leading the dance. I thought he took this one for me. If you look at the striking numbers here, it was dead even, 10-10. If you think that the damage from Murphy in this first round did anything more than the stuff coming back from Emmett, I think you're crazy. So, let's just say it's dead even, which I thought Emmett did more damage, but let's say it's dead even. Who was leading the dance? Who was pressing forward? That was Emmett, and that's a differentiator, right? So you got to go to the second, or in this case, third tier of judging criteria for octagon control, and that was Emmett. So I had him up 10-9. Second round, the cut on the top of the head. So there was a cut that Emmett got on the top of his head in the middle of the first round, and it was due to a headbutt. So that damage should not count for Murphy going forward. Emmett just lifts him like a toy at one point in this round. Just absolutely, just single leg, just picks him up like he's picking up a little kid and tosses him, throws him in the air, which it does damage, by the way. And had he landed a little bit more in this round, I really do think he could have took it. Both guys still measuring, waiting, not a ton of activity. The wrestling from Emmett was the only thing that really stood out to me. But if you really look at what happened in there, 30 seconds left, it's close, and Murphy's best shots are the body kicks, and those might be the difference maker. He outlanded him here 13-2. The 6 body kicks and the 5 leg kicks from Murphy were the difference maker. Not the most entertaining, not the most fun, and not a guy looking to exchange. He's just looking to point fight and win here, and he got it done. Like I said, he won this round, 19-19. Third round, Emmett in the pocket again, throwing as Murphy backs up, and Murphy firing back, also finding the mark, and Murphy slipping and attempting a takedown, ends up fighting off one from Emmett and landing a couple elbows in the process. This round looks more like the first, with Emmett landing the better shots as he's moving forward, but then Murphy stabs him in the eye. A nice eye poke in this third round. He gets a stern warning, but nothing else. Again, nothing standing out in this round. Emmett did a better job when he was pushing forward. I think somebody's going to be upset at the end of this fight based off of this, because you look at this round, 21-5 for strikes in favor of Murphy, and it said he landed 11 headshots in this round. When I'm telling you, you go back and watch this live, I don't know what he landed. I really don't feel like that those numbers are accurate. I gave this round to Emmett. You can criticize me all you like. I don't think that Murphy won this round. I don't think he landed 21 shots, to be honest with you. All right, so I had it 29-28 for Emmett going to this fourth round. Fourth round, Murphy still having success with the kicks to the legs and the body, and Emmett going up top when he's landing. And he's landing when he gets in Murphy's face, but just not in space. And Murphy's just doing a better job of backing up, staying outside, and kicking. Murphy's winning the fight, but by backing up and kicking the legs. Nice elbow to the back of the head for Murphy. Back here, we just went over this last night. We talked about this, or 2 days ago, we talked about this in the PFL fight. There was a cut on the back of the head. He got warned for it afterwards when Jason Herzog looked at the cut, but the round was already over, and there's no punishment doled out. This round was Murphy's. I had him winning 22-13 for striking numbers. That sounds about right. I thought this third round, like I said, I do think that third round was a lot closer in the striking numbers than what they're showing. So I had it tied 38-38 going into this last round, and Murphy with that same technique of backing up and circling as he throws kicks to the legs and the body, some up top, but none of those are landing. Murphy lands his best punch of the fight with a left hand up top. That was the difference maker in this round for me. This sucked to watch, by the way. This was not a good fight to watch. Oh yeah, and Bisping comes in there. He said, "Yeah, you dance around in there, and you frustrated him." That's correct. That's exactly what he did. But the way that Bisping was saying it was a compliment. It's stylistically, as far as like entertainment, no, not a compliment at all. As far as getting a win, absolutely. But you're going to need to do a little bit more if you want to fight for a title. I mean, after you're the champion, you can fight like this. And then on the way to your championship, you're more than welcome to fight like this once in a while. But if you are consistently putting together efforts that look like this, someone's going to catch you and you're going to lose all the esteem that you have. He's currently undefeated. The second that goes away, because he's not the most exciting guy to watch, like you lose any luster that you have, and that's really dangerous. I did have him winning this fight, 48-47. I don't think it's a controversial decision. Looking at the scorecards here, let's see. Ben Cartledge gave that first and third round like I did, but again, I could understand you giving that third round to Murphy. I thought that third round was relatively close, and that last round was relatively close as well, but I had that for Murphy as well. Eric Colon gave the second through fifth round all for Murphy, and then Saul D'Amato gave the first and last round to Emmett. Nobody gave Emmett the fight. Yeah, like I said, you're going to... Oh, what do you do here? Josh Emmett was 8 before this, and Murphy was 10. So maybe they switch spots. Murphy's already in the top 10. I don't know if this does a lot for him. He didn't really put on a performance that, he didn't dominate Emmett. He didn't destroy him, didn't knock him out, didn't do anything crazy in this. He just played it really smart and got a good technical win, right? Let's put it that way. I don't want to shit on the guy. Right? It wasn't the most fun to watch, and while you're watching it, you're just like, God dang, do something. But, I'm not in there. I know Emmett hits hard, and that's a smart plan, but you got to be more aware of how people are going to react to it afterwards. You're like, yeah, go ahead and boo. I had to do it. Like, just tell them, like, I understand. Like, it's not the most fun to watch, but we've heard it before, and I appreciate when fighters say that. Like, hey, listen, I had to be smart. All right, Pat Sabatini taking on Joanderson Brito. Not a whole lot to break down here. I mean, if you want a grappling breakdown, this is not what I'm going to do here. Not that I couldn't do it. I maybe could do an okay job of breaking down the grappling, but I'm just trying to break down the fight as a whole and like when the big change in things happen, kind of get a feel for what happens in a round, maybe pull out some of the exciting things that are happening. And, well, none of that really happened. Brito with the kick and another body kick. And Sabatini catches it, takes him down. Brito squeezing on the guillotine without the leg position, doesn't have the hips in the right spot. In fact, he was in danger of getting Von Flue choked. I don't think Sabatini really went for that at all because there was multiple times in this fight where he could have hit a Von Flue. Whole lot of control time, 4 minutes and 43 seconds of control time per Pat Sabatini. Outstruck him 12-1, but that's not the story of the fight. Second round, there it is again. Sabatini getting right to the takedown. This is the whole round, right? 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the second round, and the same thing in the third round, right? There was some chaos in the third round that led to Sabatini going for the takedown. Brito again trying to sweep with that guillotine, almost got on top, but nope, that was his last-ditch effort. Spent the entire fight on his back. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Total control time, 13 minutes and 47 seconds out of a 15-minute fight of control for Pat Sabatini. Not the most fan-friendly main and co-main event, I will tell you that. Not the most exciting. All right, Cortavious Romious versus Chang Ho Lee. Boy, oh yeah, Romious missed weight by 3.5 pounds, which is bananas. Like, I'm never not surprised. I'm always surprised when that happens. Just how bad of a weight miss they have. When they should just walk away, be like, I'm not fighting that guy. But that's not how the UFC works, because you don't get paid unless you fight, for the most part. Lee walking into the fire, both guys swinging away, and Lee in on a single leg, getting the sweep, eventually right into mount. Back up, not much for Lee, but clearly found a path to victory. I felt like in that moment, like if there's ever chaos, he can always go back to the wrestling. Romious getting to the back body lift and takedown, goes to the back and falls off, and then Lee takes the back himself. Lee going with some nasty ground and pound. Romious turns inside the body triangle. Didn't even get out of the body triangle. Didn't separate the legs at all. Just twisted inside of it. God dang, that hurts to watch. I know what that feels like. It sucks. But Lee gets on top for the last 15 Romious gets on top for the last 15 seconds, but loses it right before the end anyway. Just could not maintain control. Way too aggressive with his submission attempts. Lee outstriking him 8-5. Had more control time in this round as well, 3:27, and I gave him this round for sure, 10-9. Second round, chaos in the feet, and Lee landing to the cup with a knee. Great. Fantastic. Again, Romious able to get the takedown and get get to the back, but again, can't hold it, and he falls over the top, and Lee on top yet again. Romious going for that armbar again, but now on bottom, and then he keeps missing with those subs, taking damage. Lee with the mount, and then enough ground and pound, and Lee gets the finish, and this fight, fun one, a low blow plus a weight miss. Yeah, the guy who had the low blow +1, another winner for someone who kicks someone in the nuts, and another loser for someone who misses weight. The trend continues this year. People who miss weight tend to lose the fights. It is a good bet, in my opinion. Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. I didn't see this going any other way than it did. I thought, in fact, I was surprised by Meerschaert's performance in that third round, to be honest with you. Right? Tavares with a good... I'll talk about it because I wrote a note, I remember. Tavares with a good jab out there. Tavares landing a nice right hand, in Meerschaert in on the single, but Tavares is really hard to take down, right? This is what I was saying. Like, he is so hard to take down. Meerschaert's not the best wrestler. He's okay. He's got a decent takedown game. His best asset is his top control, his pressure, right? His ability to grapple. Like, those are his things, but he's not the best wrestler. And Tavares is an insane defensive wrestler. So, like, he's so freaking good at stopping the takedown. So, and he's a much better striker. I just didn't see how Meerschaert was going to find any success, which he didn't in this first round. The striking numbers were way closer than what I thought, 13-8, but Tavares clearly doing more damage. I gave him that first round. Second round, Tavares coming out hot, putting it on him and landing those low kicks to put him down for a second. Meerschaert able to land a little bit with his forward pressure and controlling in the clinch and then the middle. But Tavares erases all that with a big right hand with 25 seconds left, and Meerschaert needs a finish, in my opinion. I think I have him down 20. It's the striking numbers, 26-23. Again, very close. Didn't think they were that close. But I think Meerschaert needed a finish in the third round. I had him down 20-18. Last round, Meerschaert keeping this last round in the clinch along the cage. 3 minutes and 30 seconds of that control time there. Not able to do much with it, but Meerschaert probably won this last round. If you look at the strike numbers, they're 8-7 in favor of Tavares. Do I think Tavares did so much damage that he put himself so far ahead of the damage that Meerschaert did? I don't think so. I think the damage is relatively even this round, if not in favor of Meerschaert. And the control time obviously went to Meerschaert. So, looking at the scorecards here, let's just make sure. I forgot to look at them at the last fight too. All three judges had it the same way. That's good. Yep. Saul D'Amato, Ginny Tricamijo, and David Lethaby all had it 29-28, given the first two rounds to Tavares. Good scorecards, no problems there. All right. Ode Osbourne versus Louis Gurule. Gurule. That's how you pronounce that. I'm sticking to it. Louis Gurule. So Gurule mixing up his targets really well early on here. Let me freaking pull this up. My bad. Mixing up his targets really well with the kicks and going low, going to the body, going up top. Good kicks. Osbourne moving in with the boxing. Gurule really looking to kick counters and big right hand and a big right hand. And then, holy shit, a body lock and a belly-to-belly suplex for Gurule. Fantastic takedown and slam. Osbourne able to get back up with 24 seconds left, and Gurule keeping the pressure on, landing with that left hand, and takes the round for him, in my opinion. They outstruck him 7-5, out-controlled him with 2 minutes of control time. That was Gurule's round. Osbourne really needed to keep it on the feet, keep it on the outside. That's kind of what he was doing in the second round before he got the finish. So Gurule fighting through the strikes to get into the clinch after the takedown, but just nothing there for him. And now Osbourne stinging him with the 1-2s, and then a big left hand puts Gurule down. Follow-up ends it in favor of Ode Osbourne. Fantastic fight for Ode Osbourne. Looking at the scorecards here, making sure we don't get any surprises. Good. I like to look at the scorecards even on fights that were finished to make sure that the judges didn't do anything stupid, and then it gets hidden because it doesn't get talked about. Torrez Finney versus Robert Valentin. The tall guy versus stocky powerhouse, right? So you're looking for Valentin to keep it standing and Finney looking to take him down. I thought Finney was going to throw some bigger strikes, but that's not what we got here. This fight was not the most interesting to watch either, which is one of the reasons I said skip it. I did write more about what was going on, like Valentin going with kicks up the middle as Finney moves in, carries him across the cage, slams him down, not able to control him. Valentin with the long arms, able to reach the legs over the top. Finney finally gets a takedown, controls him there. It should be Finney's round. The reason why we'll talk about, I should bring some stuff up. Anyway, Valentin's the only one who landed strikes in this round, 6-0. Okay, I gave this to Finney because he did slam him, right? That's damage. He landed some shots in tight, and he had a ton of control time. I didn't think Valentin landed so much damage that he outdid all the damage Finney did. I thought it was that's fine. Second round here, even more so in favor of Finney. Like he outstrikes him 4-3 for significant strikes. Total strikes, he's outstruck by 13-9. But again, he had 4 minutes and 24 seconds of control time. I had him winning that round as well. I had him up 20-18. Last round, same thing. Right across, gets a takedown. This round is more arguable for Valentin. So he outlanded him 65-1 for total strikes and 14-0 for significant strikes, whereas Finney only had control time. So I had it 29-28 in favor, right? 29-28 in favor of Finney. Let's look at these scorecards, shall we? Ben Cartledge and Genichir Camijo both have it that same way. Now, that first round, was interesting. So Tony Weeks scored that first round for Valentin. Okay, I'll buy it. The last round for Valentin. Okay, I agree. Second round for Valentin. Absolutely not. You can't get away with that one, bud. You can't get away. You tried to sneak one in there. No. You weren't fucking paying attention. You weren't paying attention. I can tell you weren't paying attention. You had decided that Finney wasn't doing any damage in that first round, and you were going to punish him by taking that round away and giving it to Valentin. Okay. Again, you could argue that first round for him. Second round, you just put your fucking blinders on. You put your blinders on and you just looked at, he's like, he's doing the same thing. You didn't pay the fuck attention because he landed damage in there. Valentin didn't land that much damage, if any, really, in that second round. Third round, again, got you, but you weren't paying attention, Tony Weeks. Doofus. All right, that's it for the main card. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. This is my second video. Oh, yeah. Go check out my PFL video from yesterday. Go check that one out. There's a PFL event. You can skip watching it and just go watch my coverage of it, or, look it up on your own if you're not interested in watching it. But if you are interested, go watch that one. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of thing. And like I said, thank you guys for stopping by. If you did find yourself liking this video, hit the like button. Love you guys. Have an amazing week. Peace.